Hi, folks. We are Grown A Geeks, and tonight we're going to be talking about Gen V Season 2. This is a spoiler review. Sit with us, enjoy, talk, leave comments, let us know what you think. We're going to talk some theories, we're going to talk some characters. Join us. Gen V Season 2. We are back. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to be talking about Gen V Season 2. This is our mid-season review. There are 4 episodes out, and we're going to be discussing those first 4 episodes. This is a spoiler review. If you have not seen the first 4 episodes, I strongly recommend that you pause this, finish that, and then come back. Come back, watch. Or just watch until we'll try to go episode by episode. And when we get to that episode, if you hadn't seen it, that's where you need to pause. Join we'll try. I don't know how that's gonna work. Joining me tonight, we have Godolkin alumni, Teresa. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm here.
My man, the Compound V dealer.
Holla at me for the
RG
deals.
Cashmere.
No, I'm just playing. I make you strong.
Nickname Miss Brandy. What's going on, Brandy?
Hello.
And I am your admin and host, Elder Geek Sam. So, Gen V Season 2. Return to form. It's just more goodness from the world of Vought and all of the interesting things that Vought brings us. Gen V covers the Godolkin University, and which is basically like superhero academy. Not quite. What was it? Sky High. That was the
Sky
name.
High.
I was just getting ready to say.
Sky. I was thinking like Kurt Russell. He was the big
I
hero.
could think of I could see the movie in my head, and I.
Now, this does seem like that would be the competing, like that may be the high school that you would have to be in order to like filter in to Godolkin. Because once you get up here, this is the majors, and this is like the recruiting station to get picked up. And it's not a joke. Like these people be on campus just doing what they do, and powers just running rampant. So it is, we're coming back. It's been an interesting ride, and getting re-familiar with the characters was a little jarring in that first episode, because of course it's been a while since I watched the first season. So coming into season 2, I had to like let the episodes remind me of everything. And of course they did a really good job on the recap. But I know there's some people who getting ready to watch season 2 would go back and binge season 1. A lot happened in the 8 episodes, and I didn't want to go through that emotional turmoil from the first 8 episodes. So I said, we'll just jump in here and try to see what's what. So episode 1 was New Year, New You. We're introduced to the new dean, Cypher. Ooh, who's this new dean? After the last dean she's no more, and the kids got sent to Elmira, and when they broke out, we had Homelander show up to stop, and he was like, "Oh, you like fighting supes?" And everybody goes off, and they're in the jail cell there, and we lost Andre, like a lot of traumatic stuff from the first season. So when we're getting into the new season, it's everybody's kind of separated, and we're seeing like the new normal, if you will, for our characters. Kate and Sam are parading around school like everything is great because they're the faces, they're the guardians of Godolkin. So they're the ones that are being presented to be in good graces, and we have Marie still doing what she does, or not Marie, Kate still doing what she does to control Sam and help him suppress the memories. And he's kind of walking around a little zombied. We got a chance to see what's Little Cricket. What's her name?
Emma.
Emma. So we have Jordan, we have Emma, you know, just seeing how everybody's trying to adjust and they're not coping well. You know, they obviously had some traumatic experiences. They lost a good friend. It's really hard to see where it's going to go. What was everybody's thoughts on that first episode? Was this a good jump back in, or did we too much too fast?
Well, I thought, because like Brandy was saying that she watched it all, you know, just watched all of the ones that were out at the same time. I did too. So the first episode, it pulled me back in. You know, I was ready to keep going. So, you know, I think it was a good first episode.
Okay.
Interesting.
Definitely interesting. Seeing the video where Maria's out here doing her slumming superhero bit.
Mm-hmm.
That was this is the weird thing about this show is it doesn't really matter who you are. They definitely did a good job of giving you somebody to latch onto, to associate with, to root for. Mm-hmm. If you're a good guy or the bad guy, you have somebody to root for in this show. And I think that is an interesting choice, I will say. And I'm curious to see if people recognize how politically charged this show is, because it's still still the same world. Mm-hmm. And when we see like Starlighters and we see the peaceful protests and we see make Godolkin super again, and it's just like everything that you're seeing across, it's like, again, it's the Vought machine doing what it does. Everything is PR and spin doctors at work.
I thought that I didn't necessarily go into this. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's just everything is a lot right now, and I've just been really into escapism and like watching old comfort movies and things of that nature. So I just, for whatever reason, was real resistant. And so going in, it was like, yeah, no, I get it, and I'm in, and it's not even like I'm mad. It's just like this show is very real. It's very prescient.
Too real.
There's like things happening that I'm like, there's no way they knew this when they made this, because I know that it takes a length of time to make things, right? And there's things happening on the show that I'm like,
and yet
real parallel.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just is like, okay, so I get it, and I'm going into this world, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy the show. I just, for whatever reason, I
absolutely understand. And I think that was kind of my point. I was like, this is so, even though it's a TV show that is based on a comic, this is supposed to be, I won't say the lighter version of it, but this is Gen V. These are the kids. This is the college years.
But it is kind of the lighter version, because I was ready to watch this. I was ready to get back into Gen V. Yeah. But I am two seasons behind on the boys, because the adults are just too much for me. The adults and their politics. I think with these being younger people and having a little more of the adolescent to the teenage kind of angst, and it's a little bit more lighthearted, even though it's still heavy. It's not as heavy as the adults. And I think I tried to go back. I went back to season 3, I think, of The Boys, and I got maybe an episode and a half into it, and I had to turn it off. It's just too much.
It's a lot. And the thing is it's not even like it's not well written or acted. I immediately, when they introduced Cypher, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna like him. I'm gonna like to hate him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like
immediately
the way
I knew
he is. I like his demeanor. I like his persona. I like, as he's unfolding, what we're discovering about him. I'm just enchanted by Emma. I just love her. I of all of the characters, every time she's on the screen, I'm just like, well, what you finna do now, girl? You finna, where we
Okay.
going? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I really like her character. I like Marie. I just don't know where we're going with that. Like,
That's funny you say that because I like her. So the first season, I was not the biggest fan of Marie. I felt like she made a lot of very, I'm going to say naive choices because I have to remember the age of, you know, of these characters. And so that is one of the things, like Teresa, that does give the show a very good appeal, where to me as the viewer, the stakes are not necessarily, I'm not going to say the stakes are not as high. It's just, I get to enjoy watching them have fun on campus. They're still partying. There's still frats. There's still sororities. There's still that whole regular ass life, but somebody's flying and somebody's, you know, chugging beer up their butthole for some weird reason.
Right.
What kind of superpower is
I
that?
literally wrote that down. I was like, butt chug.
Yeah, but you know something? Here's the thing. In the real world, I think that happens too. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying? This is they're just better at it.
Variation of a keg stand. I've heard tail.
Yeah, there you go. So, you know,
No
the show is very good at it. The show doesn't take itself as seriously, but the characters definitely take themselves seriously. And the thing that the show does very good is that, and why I think it was easy to come back to this season, is that the characters are pretty likable, to be honest. Like for young people, and I normally don't like 20-somethings, but they are.
I'm gonna tell you,
these guys
I can't
are making
stand 20-something. Oh, they get on my damn nerves.
You know, I'm just, you know, no shade, no shade thrown at anybody. I don't want nobody to take this
triggering right there.
It's generally, but what I'm saying is, but the show, these characters, you know, Jordan Lee, Emma, the combination of the three of them, they have very good chemistry, those three. And
I think Sam is really good. I think he's good at that. Actor is really good.
Absolutely. Sam has become my favorite character for this season. Like I love their arcs. I love the natural progression of their arcs, coming from an incredibly traumatizing season ender, right? And so you're introducing us into that, and then the adjustment that in these 4 episodes, the adjustments that they've made in order to still deal with this. I mean, it's all realistic. They're making good choices. They're not doing shit for stupid reasons in order to push the plot along. So it's very natural to watch the show develop and watch it happen because they're doing things that in a natural setting you believe. I see why they would do that. Like,
I think a lot of this, and part of why I posed the question is coming off of the events of the last season and seeing where that took them, where they ended up, and the results of that. Coming into this new season, these kids have a lot on them. Yeah. And to see that resilience with the backdrop of what should be some of their most memorable years, you know what I'm saying? The 4 years that they're in college and having that college lifestyle, that freedom to explore, you know, like given that they have that opportunity, but they're dealing with all of this, it puts them and uniquely them separated from everyone else around them who is just going about their day to day. Like you said, having the parties and, you know, they try to work their way into a party. Everybody's looking at each other, you know, little side eye here, little side eye there. And just seeing Jordan and Emma, seeing them become friends, you know, and even though it's trauma bonding, them becoming friends to the degree that they did was unexpected. But like you said, they make such a good, they have a good back and forth between them. And then when we see Marie and we end up with the three of them, okay, this little trio could work. You know what I'm saying? They're coming off a little Powerpuff Girls. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, here's Maria's going to be your like leader type. Emma is like the world's greatest Bubbles, because you ever seen Bubbles get mad?
Okay.
Like, and she's great. And then of course Jordan Lee, when she's being Jordan, you know, I don't know. I feel like she's actually more angry as that Jordan. When she's Jordan, she's like, you know, just, I can deal with it, keeps it all in. And it's like, I'm wondering, like, is that intentional that she doesn't communicate as well, doesn't open up as much, and seems more inward and quiet when she's Jordan versus
sure it is.
Right, but when she's Jordan, she lets you know, and she gives it to you, speaks her mind, and just, you know. And so I think the nuance of like, these are just really well written characters. For them to have the kind of trauma that they have, like you said, RG, these are the kind of decisions they would make based on what they've been through, based on what has happened. They know their power set, they know what they're capable of, but they may not trust that the same way because they've been to Elmira.
Right.
And when you're put in a position like they were put, you know what I'm saying? They come back and everything is the same but different.
Right, exactly. They don't not know, as bright-eyed and
right. They don't know what they can or can't trust. You know what I'm saying? And
everybody, honestly, though, because Save the Last Dance. I don't know what the man's name is.
Polarity.
Thank you.
Thank you. I could not think of that movie. I was like, yo, what is that dancing movie?
No. I absolutely right.
Absolutely like the trauma is extended, you know what I'm saying? Like so many people.
Yeah. And of course, the only thing that I'm kind of going through is like, we see this little bit where, okay, they're trying to capture Marie. We got a weird character of this dog knot who's doing the tracking down.
I want to kill.
No, he was flirting with that dog, man. And that made me uncomfortable. Like, why are you talking to that dog like that? I would have ran away too. I was like, run, doggy, run.
Yeah. You know, and so of course it's like
no talent is
that
he was great.
Having a cameo from Starlight, when she jumps in and, you know, she helps out and she stops Dognot, and of course it was like, hey, you know, just reminding you this is from the boys, you know, and it's right. But it's like it's a practical spillover. These events happen. This is the natural progression in this world because it's a very well fleshed out, lived in world that they all co-inhabit. You know, and so even that little bit of intro with the professor, when we see, was that the first episode they showed like 30 years ago, something?
Tentacles.
Do what?
The year was 1967.
67.
And there was butt tentacles. And that is what I took away from that scene.
Yes, there were. And you know, but I mean, honestly, like when we
that was weeks ago, folks, and she clearly remembers.
But she wrote it down.
I was just wanting to make sure that I had it put together. And was it the first episode where we saw the doctor? And all that took place in the first episode, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, and good on them for trying it on themselves.
Yeah,
but I suppose, what would you try it on? Because you couldn't control an animal if you gave it superpowers.
There's nobody to
You're not gonna save two people to be like, let me record what happened.
I guess everybody reacted differently.
And that's the thing. But I mean, even with the Gen V compound, we find out that, you know, people's powers, they manifest differently. You know what I'm saying? If you take Gen V, we are not going to have the same power set. And my powers are not going to be the same as your powers. And that's the case even with Gen V. Looking at that, and it was something, you know, I'm guessing with the fire that was taking place, carbon dioxide, not to mention all of the various fumes and stuff that was in the room, like, thought my man was going to get the fire alarm. Oh, dang. And he's the scientist for whom the school was named. And so he was probably one of the early, you know, scientists working on the Gen V compound and that sort of stuff. And he had like a special side project formula he's working on. All of that was, it's just one of those scenes where you just know you have to pay attention to this scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're watching a show like this and they show that and you're like, okay, let me watch that again, because I know that that's going to be an important scene.
But they're all shooting up at the same time, and from my work background, I'm sitting there like, I guess they didn't have human subjects research guidelines back then.
Who's supposed to be taking the notes?
You're making compound V.
Who's overlooking? Who's taking the notes?
There is no oversight committee for the illegal manufacture. There is no oversight committee for the illegal manufacture of this compound V drug.
No informed consent, no nothing.
A bit more sense. At least one person should be like, I'm going to sit back and record the results.
There was one person who was like, no,
Alexander Godolkin.
But he was too late.
He was running in from another room. You know, somebody needs to be in there.
Am I my brother's keeper? Is he his brother's keeper?
This is supposed to be scientific.
I mean, look, Dr. Jekyll didn't have anybody to test his stuff, so he tested it on himself. And, you know,
we see how that turned out.
What's the name? Green Goblin will let you know he's something of a scientist himself.
You got to have faith, baby. You got to be like, I am that one. I am the one, and I know that I have made this thing.
I promise you, when everybody's like, okay, on 3, 1, 2, 3.
I don't got one living rat out of the 379 that I have injected in. I don't have one living rat. I don't got one rat to be like, all right, you normal, Ben. I can try this now. What the fuck, man? But you know, this was the 60s, so you know.
Yeah, they
just try anything.
Before they progressed into ultimately what they ended up doing to Homelander. So it's hard to feel bad.
Like they figured it out.
Great people. Like
they figured something out.
In general, the Vought scientists are not amazing folks, because when they found that good room, I was like,
hey, you can't make an omelet without cracking some eggs. That's all I can say.
There you go.
And they did what they had. They did what they felt they had to do.
They scrambled them eggs.
Maeve was all right.
Much like our trio of heroes here, or fledgling heroes, we have Marie and Jordan and Emma. Kate comes to stop them, and
she's on my nerves. Well, okay. As of episode 4, she's on my nerves.
As of episode 1, it was like, I get it. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where it's like, the irony is that her power is to push people and psychically control their thoughts and give them hypnotic suggestion to do what she requests that they do. And yet, she is the biggest pushover in the entire show. And it's crazy to me that, like, your sole power is being able to get other people to do what you want, and you can't think for yourself. And it's like, it's an ironic side of a character like that. And I believe,
if I had that power, I would rather have the one from Umbrella Academy.
That's who
I heard a rumor
in the mind of.
Yeah, I would rather be able to just be like, I heard a rumor that blah de blah, and not have to touch or be, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It just seems like a manageable power if you could just say it instead of having to.
I mean, they seem to scale the same in terms of outcome.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they both can get whoever their intended target is to do, behave
Yeah,
in the
but with
same
the
way.
voice,
But
you could get on a microphone and get a bunch of people.
you can fuck around. Yeah, yeah. Good point. Very good point. Yeah.
I heard a rumor
That's
that y'all want to give
dangerous.
me all your money.
But that's also the point that I make as far as
misuse of power.
the irony of Kate being that way, because Kate always manages to align herself with someone powerful.
Yes.
Yes.
Whether like that is her go-to maneuver. And it is not lost on me that Kate looks the way Kate looks.
I was just getting ready to say that.
And that is her go-to tactic.
Right.
Even so much as to say that when it doesn't work out for her, and as a reflex, Jordan pushes back, throws her into a wall, and they decide that they just need not be there when she's found. They leave. We get into the next episode, and it is crazy because just like they can't determine what Cypher's powers are, we can't determine what Cypher's powers are, but that man seems to know everything.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely.
And whatever is on the forefront of your mind is what he's gonna talk about every time.
Yeah.
And that's got to be unsettling to be around somebody like that, and like you're hiding something, and he just casually throws it out like you not hiding.
But they did a really good job the first 2 episodes of making him incredibly menacing. Like you knew that he knew, but he wasn't as upfront like in the 3rd and 4th episode where he's now dropping little like, yeah, so why don't we stop the bullshit because I already know everything. And so they're doing a good job at that, but it's like, how do you?
When Maria,
I need an explanation behind how this dude is that good. Like, you're fucking
Maria's
awesome.
Sitting in the office, and he just casually throws out, "Oh yeah, Kate, she's in the hospital. They found her, and when she wakes up, we'll get to talk to her." Like, she looked like a deer caught in headlights in that moment. And kudos to them for being able to do all of these dual roles that they're doing, where they can act heroic, act scared, act like they know something that someone else doesn't know. Because I be sitting there watching, and I feel every emotion they are showing me on screen. And they do a really good job of progressing the story with their emotions. I feel like in the first season, you had mentioned that Marie was a little like naive. I just felt like overall her character was a little dry, but I thought it was kind of that detachment that she had because, of course, she's responsible for the death of her parents unintentionally. She doesn't know where her sister is. She grew up in this orphanage. So she just learned to don't like anybody because no one's going to be there. So she is very standoffish and aloof, and you know what I'm saying? So it was like it took towards, it was like the middle of the season before she actually started to show some personality. And I think it was by design because this season she's, all hearts and tears and fuzzies. And you know what I'm saying? Like she's just full of emotion all the time. Having Polarity come back in with Emma, that was an interesting
pairing.
Yeah, not so much, not even an interesting pairing. Because it's funny, Brandon said "Save the Last Dance." I was like, yeah, it makes sense. But
bless him.
But that character of Polarity, and knowing that, what I'm saying, Andre was his son, and seeing what he's got to deal with, watching him come from the edge and kind of pull himself back together. It's like you almost want better for him as a result. You know what I'm saying? And if they did something, you want him to get his lick back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I absolutely want Polarity to get his lick back. What happened to his son is tragic, and it's an unfortunate situation to the nth degree. So it's like, yeah, I absolutely feel where he's coming from and why he feels the way he does. And so if there's an opportunity for him to get some comeuppance out of that, I want him to have it. Going down into, discovering the secret room. Her ass was so high.
It was so funny though.
Discovering the hidden room because the fan is It was like, you know what? She's
likable. She's just she's a good-natured. The thing is that she is a very good-natured person. And the thing is that those type of characters, it's very easy to empathize with. It's very easy. You understand that they're gonna do stupid things. You understand that they're gonna make mistakes, but you know that they're not malicious. And she's not a malicious person. You want her to win. You don't want to see her suffer because you know she's not getting into situations because she's trying to hurt other people. She's a really good person, and so I like her. I like when she gets into these situations where, it's just, she overindulges and she's just being a young person and she just gets fucked up. It's like, I'm glad that these situations don't turn out like life or death. Like, grow big in the library, in the in the hidden room, and
know what you're talking
about. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? In front of this old man, right? So
yeah.
It's like, I'm like, you want to see her get up. I like her. She makes me smile. Her scenes make me smile.
Yeah, so, I feel like the audience is seeing everything kind of from her perspective. Like, she represents us, the viewer, in everything that happens. Because on the one hand, her initial reaction to everything is literally what we be thinking and how we feel about the situation as it's presented. But we realize that these are the good guys and they have to save the day. So, figure a way through it. And she's like, you know what? Can we do it? No. But should we try?
Right.
Maybe. I don't know. But we can ask someone. And it's like that is a real person. And given that her power set is very unique, and it's not what you think of immediately. Now, mind you, we got Ant-Man, we got the Atom, you know what I'm saying? And these are like major players in Marvel and DC and different runs of this and that. I get it. But when you think of superhero, that is not the first thing you're thinking of as someone with shrinking powers. You know what I'm saying? Somebody with growing powers. They are people who usually have to, of course, rely on their brain. They have to do more than just be able to shrink. They have to be able to think, because shrinking ain't the answer to every problem. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to punch something really hard. And if you can't do that, you got to think of a way to hurt that person. So I think that's one of the things that makes Emma such an important character in the show, regardless of her power set, is she has the ability to have that out of the box thinking.
But the thing is I don't think she does. I think she has a luck dragon, and I think she acts on impulse. She acts like a very young, impulsive girl, but again, because she's not malicious, the outcome for the things that she do shouldn't be that bad. Like, she's not going into situations because she's trying to steal money or hurt, you know what I'm saying, or hurt anybody. But she does some things that's not well thought out. She misuses her power sometimes. And
I will say that it is nice to watch even in this short amount of time, her character arc, like I like that she has found people that she has things in common with, and kind of, not, I'm not saying that misfits, but just kind of in her own lane.
Yeah.
Because I think last season, there was just a lot of meanness towards her, and like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like this season, it seems like she's coming into her own. Like she's
Yes.
owning her skill set and her mind, and becoming more confident and right from wrong type stuff.
And
And
becoming a
I really
leader.
enjoy watching her character arc. So I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
kind of like, I just want to see. I hope she's okay, because I'll turn the
Yeah.
table. I'll turn the table. I promise I will.
Gonna flip all the
Like,
show.
Oh,
because I
flip
know
the
this
table.
show, and they're like, "Don't you love her? Stab in the neck!" Like,
You're gonna bleed out.
oh.
Absolutely. You know what? Going into this show, I was kind of like, don't really like anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't have a favorite. Don't have a favorite, because there's no telling what they're gonna do. And
You know what? I just
it's
do.
like
I
I
literally.
hope that the characters that I like make it to season 3, but you never know. And it's hard to say what will be, because it's always what could be. And I don't know. Sometimes I watch these shows, and I think like they wait to decide which ending to use based on everybody's reaction to the previous season. Like they recorded two episodes, and they look at the number of people that watched to decide if we're gonna run episode 1 or we're gonna run episode 2. Because you know what I'm saying, like seeing Sam at the hospital with Kate, and then of course seeing that Kate's powers kind of are a little shaky now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so the one thing you could do, you can't do now? Let's see how this works. Your super powerful friend is no longer, you can't help him, so he's done. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get to see things. And then I didn't even realize at the time that, okay, wait, so Kate it's not just like she bumped her head. It's like, okay, she's missing a whole section that doesn't allow her powers to work the way they work. What's the whole thing with the arm? Like, wait a minute.
Well, the arm thing was what
serious.
you call him blew her arm off. Oh, girl.
Marie.
Yeah.
Makes
So
me
we knew
think,
about the arm.
was this
It's
intentional?
Yeah.
Like everything is connected, and everything has a reason, and everything has a point, right? So was this intentional, and why? Why was Kate super important to something that they were like, nah, we gotta take her out before we get to point B or whatever, like, because like she really got tore up this season. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, like I said, she was getting on my nerves and everything, but like, damn, they didn't have to do her like they've been doing her. Like, they didn't have to do her like they've been doing her.
Well, no, because see, I think a lot of that is I've kind of been
like, damn, girl.
It made me think of the scene in Airplane where everybody just kind of randomly wasn't gonna shut up.
Yeah, no, but see, look, I've been Team Jordan the
dang.
whole time, and I was mimicking all of Jordan's feelings regarding Kate this entire time, because I was like, yo, she did y'all dirty last season. She was two-faced, and she was trying to help. But you know what? You cracked, like, she gave up so quick. She folded so easy. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of those things, like, when you have a character like an Andre who literally pushed himself to the brink. Right. That is very much like I'll be free by any means.
Right.
And then you got people like Kate that's like, well, what can I do? First chance. What can I do? And so it's like with Jordan and Emma, you know what I'm saying, with the rest of them kind of having to like just thug it out until they were able to, till they got released. You know what I'm saying? And of course, it's like, okay, Kate had something to do with that. Did you? Because when we get around to like
eat it publicly, Like,
you know what I'm saying? And her being so
they're
quick to
the
just be like, just
heroes
do it, just
and
do it. It keeps us safe. Like, because you scary, I gotta be weak. Because you
facts.
scary.
And I respect to Jordan, because that's scary dealing with, you don't know, man, these is kids, because an adult would have never, nah.
Now, I
An
will
adult
say
would
in
have never
defense,
publicly took on Vought like that.
yeah, that's real.
Like,
now, I will say in defense of the necessity of the Kate character, I believe when you there's a lot of moving parts in this show. There's a lot of there's a lot of main characters at any given. I mean, outside of Marie, right? But the first season, Andre got a lot of time. Kate got a lot of time. Yeah. Sam got time. Emma got time. The Jordans got time. Everybody got a lot of time. We know who these people are.
No, I like that.
We know who these people are. So given who Kate was, right? The superficial, the superficial undertones to her power, and basically to her character, right? Does this make sense that out of all of these wannabe heroic people, wannabe stoic people, that this one from this background would make that decision to betray them? And it's like, yeah, she's kind of the weakest of them, right? She has the strongest ability to affect other people's will, which probably means she's walking around weak-willed.
Yeah, that's absolutely what I said. Like, with her power, it's amazing that she only seems there to do other people's bidding.
Right.
Mm.
And I mean, her background
does not have an independent thought to push on her own, because she worked for the last dean. You know what I'm saying? And she was pushing the number one student then. And then when that student was gone and Andre and Jordan were fighting for the number one position, you know what I'm saying? She aligned herself with Andre to push him. And it's like all she's there for is to be the instrument of control. And I'm going to do my best Koofy hat Jeff moment and be like, so it wasn't surprising at all last season when she was attached herself to Andre the way she did, because if you wanted to control the black man in the college, but anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, so Jeff, that was for you, brother.
You're always in our thoughts, brother. You're always in our thoughts.
And so it was immediately,
you live in us.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was not lost on me to see Kate this season struggle. Yeah. Because there is no one for her to align herself to. Because Cypher doesn't really see Cypher.
She's not who he wants.
We still can't really tell by the third episode who Cypher.
That motherfucker is an enigma wrapped in a mystery, wrapped in a
conundrum.
All we know is
hanging on a question mark.
He doesn't have patience with anybody except Marie.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, he's like, I don't really give a damn. Like, what did you come in here for? Listen. get to the point. The answer is no. Get the fuck out. Like, he don't have.
Yeah.
You know.
But he indulges her. Yeah. But the whole Project Odessa thing.
He can shift on a dime, because Andre or Jordan's revelation, there was an immediate plan following that. Like, it wasn't even. It was like they knew that was going to happen.
Like I said, I strongly believe that this man can read. Like, I don't even think he can read your mind. Like, I don't think that's accurate. It feels like whatever surface thought you're trying to suppress, he can get that. He can only get like he can't deep dive and like he can't do what Kate does.
Right.
But it feels as though, like, when you know a lie and when you are lying to a person, you're looking them in their face and you're lying to them, he can tell what you're hiding.
Like, what's his name? What was that other superhero? The one that was like Batman in the
The question?
boys, the dirty one, the
Oh,
racist one.
Noir.
No.
No.
I know what she's talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? And he can tell when you're lying.
Yeah.
The dirty one.
I was
The
gonna
one
say
that
the one
had
with
the boy.
with the cave.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
just mean like he could tell when you're lying. That was his superpower.
Right.
And being
And see,
disgusting.
and
yeah.
And so it's when you look at the way he responds to things, he has his plan laid out. And like you said, when something happens, he doesn't know exactly what happens, but then when you're in front of him, he knows that you're in front of him telling him that your powers are there and it's great. And he knows that you're lying. So he's like, oh, okay, great. Well, show me. Do the thing. No? Okay, then get out. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like when Marie was right there in front of him and she's like, yeah, that's exactly how it happened. And I'm coming back to school. And he's like, oh, okay. So Kate should be back soon because she's at the hospital. Oh, they found her? Yeah, we found some starlighters to da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, was there something you wanted to? And it's like he always asks question that leads towards making you lie so that he can get the truth. So it's like I feel like it's something to that effect. He can only read that surface emotion or something like that.
And it could be an aspect of the fact that final episode 4, when he takes over Jordan's body.
Yes.
Right? So there could be an aspect of it where because he's taking over your body, he's in your thoughts, he's in your mind.
Yeah, but then now that begs the question, where did he come from and how and where has he been? Because has there been an opportunity where he was in somebody's body and maybe they did something that they would not have done?
You know what? What if we have some roguelike powers? Wait a minute. What if we have some roguelike powers? Because we also know that he does not look like he aged from the time he delivered Marie to now. So he has not been aging very much. And if he has this ability to puppet master and jump in bodies, maybe that comes with acquiring multiple powers. Because we also found out that the one little girl is a chameleon. And she can tap somebody and steal their powers for 60 seconds. And I thought that was really cool because, of course, we thought her superpower was tail. And I thought it was so funny when it was said. She was like, I thought your power was tail. And she's like, no, it's actually chameleon. And it's like, oh, okay. Oh, you know what? Chameleons do have tails. I needed them to do something with her
the
eyes.
Bee lady, though. I just need that not to be a thing. Because that's just disturbing.
It is off-putting every time she comes on screen.
Yeah, there's always one of those
throwing up in the jar. It's honey. First, there's so many things wrong with that right there. Gross. Like that.
But it's science, Brandy. It's science.
I know it is, and it's like I can't rightfully be mad at this because it's true, but also
your whole girl who's part B be like,
I just had tea.
And that stinger jiggling around behind her. That's just great.
That's terrible. That's just.
Do you want to die? No? Good. Neither do I. Like,
at least she's consistent, right? Like,
yeah.
So she will die too. Right?
You know she ain't gonna be starting nothing because she is not interested in perishing. She quite enjoys her little position.
Right.
She seems
now,
to, yes.
One sting, it's over.
It is crazy to have Kate suddenly decide to, play nice, and everybody's gonna they're gonna try to bury the hatchet and work together. And again, I think it was accurate to say, the enemy of my enemy is two enemies. But again, the enemy of the enemy is my friend. And of course, it's like, you don't like Cypher, we don't like Cypher. We should team up and find out what we don't like about Cypher. And so her getting there, and of course, like, oh my God, R.I.P. to the gnome.
Yeah,
that sucks.
More ridiculousness.
Yes, there's
R.I.P. to that man, because I'm sorry, I would not be working with her.
It's ridiculousness not to be confused with foolishness.
Yes, that was absolutely some ridiculousness.
I would have to resign my job after that. I would have to resign. I'm not staying here. I've been traumatized in the worst way.
That leads us.
I tend to miss a lot of the male ass parts. I always seem to, for some reason, find myself like, nope, not doing this shit.
I wish I could. I mean, I'm comfortable in everything, but damn.
Oz was a very hard show
gratuitous. For me. But I it's. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Anyway, we get to the house.
Implied. The same with the deep. That scene with the deep. I was like, the violence implied, and then later on in the scene in the episode, there's one of them refers to it unless they let themselves be violated by the deep, and I was like, so that we know that's exactly what happened. I've never needed to join anything that bad ever in my life.
At all.
Never.
There's no point.
Like never.
Nigga, we are fighting.
It's like
if you
get
draw
in the
a dick
Illuminati
on my forehead
and you get $1 billion, and this man is gonna come in here with a baseball bat and have his way with you, I would be like,
let me tell you something. It's like, you know what? There is no fraternity, not never, ever, ever. That's where the lasting friendships, man. You don't get the hell away from me. Not now, but right now.
Like I get it because that society is like super wealthy. Like, oh, you're in once you're in, but damn, why does it always
do the white boy shit? The white boy shit is always just some sort of, oh God, this is gonna get me in so much trouble. It's sort of gay. There's always something borderline gay. If something gay involved, some dick in somebody's face, drawing a dick on somebody's forehead.
So ultimately,
cut this part out.
ultimately, and I can and let me. You're not going to get canceled. I'm just going to clarify it for you. It's not that it's gay. It's demoralizing. And the demoralizing aspect of it has been going on.
It's always stuff like, oh, we're all going to come into a cup, and then whoever the last one is to come has to drink the cup. Like, why is that a game y'all play? Why is that even something that somebody sat around and was like, let's all do this?
There's no dude I done hung out with on my block that ever asked me to do no stupid shit like that. No.
All right.
All right.
We're not joining said fraternity. We don't have to stay on this topic.
There you go.
We absolutely can talk about anything else.
My bad. Yeah,
because there's a whole man in a hyperbolic chamber right here worth talking about and got nothing to do with any of this other shit.
That is true.
Wait. We got this part out anyway. This just was talking about what y'all doing.
As we were saying, because I'm sure that's still going to be an interesting edit. But as we were saying, you know, we have Kate and Jordan are now showing up to Cypher's house, and we get here to the house, and there's this, you know, this big door that needs to remain hidden, and of course, Kate knows that he's not going to be there. Actually, they all know that he's not going to be because he's over here training Marie. So they're over here doing the training with Marie. But alas, we get the door opened up and there's a whole hyperbolic chamber in there. Hyperbaric chamber in there. I'm sorry, Dragon Ball Z hyperbolic time chamber was, but you were correct. Hyperbaric chamber. And we got this burnt up body in the chamber. Who that? Who is that? Because my man said Cypher was like, "Oh, that's my father." Come on now.
He said my father says hi.
Right. See, I'm not buying it. But apparently, Daddy is in this chamber, and of course, now we come right back to trying to figure out, like, okay, if they get caught in the chamber, and they're trying to figure out what's what, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's one of those things where he doesn't tell them like, hey, you got caught. He just very casually like, oh yes, my father says hi. The man in the hyperbaric chamber. like you just can't get nothing over on him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing and that's why I'm like, it has to be. It's not until you have a secret that he comes. Because if it was just about him, like being able to read minds, he would stop a lot of the shit before it even happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're plotting.
That's why I said unless it's meant to happen because it's leading somewhere.
True.
Like I said, it just seemed really convenient to me that he immediately had the dude in that's like, oh yeah, y'all are gonna fight, and this is the plan, and this is what's going on, and this is da-da-da. And he's like, you're gonna fight and you're going to win.
Right.
Was he going to have them fight prior to that? Because that doesn't make sense, right? It had to come after Jordan revealed that it wasn't a Starlighter that killed Andre. So how would he know that Jordan was going to say that?
Right. Or do they just have all these contingencies lying about?
That's true.
He's an absolute
That's
spender.
true too.
Like, no question about that. Like he's part of the Vought machine. He's the dean of the school. Somebody from Vought has placed him where he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's like true. There's no question about that. And so with him being there, and because the school it's a funnel for getting new heroes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they do. They craft these great heroes. These heroes go on to Vought International, and they end up getting contracts, and that's more money for Vought. So it's part of the Vought machine, without a doubt. It definitely feels like when they recognize and start to understand, like he was one of the people at Elmira. He was one of the doctors that was doing experiments at Elmira, and now he's the dean of the school. Since we know that the previous dean was working on an anti-supe or like a supe only disease, you know, something that would attack the supes. And he was working there at the time. Like, we don't know if he is like exactly pro-supe or anti-supe. We don't know enough about Cypher. He is still a mystery. And for them to go half the season and maintain this mystery with him is damn impressive. We started to see a little bit of a crack when he was working with Marie and he's talking to her, and you know, she sees like there's no compound V in his blood and whatnot, and he's pushing her. And then when we see him like take over Jordan in the fight, you know what I'm saying? Like Emma's in the tunnels, and poor Emma. Like this girl, I just want her to catch a damn break. I want her to catch a break. And it's like, I'm also kind of shocked that at this point, she doesn't just have like, she's not a hypochondriac. You know what I'm saying? Like, just,
yeah.
I watch every time I watch her, I be wanting to put hand sanitizer on my hand. Because like, you are in the worst places, little girl. Like, I need you to not have to be where you be.
I watched that whole sequence probably with one eye, because I was like,
because I know they're gonna show it. I know
if I have to see a gigantic turd, it will not be with both eyes.
There you go. Thank you.
I genuinely
it's gonna be by accident.
I genuinely thought we would go get a full-on, like Dave Chappelle said, piss on you. I just knew she was gonna be, and there was gonna be a rain scene.
I thought for sure there was gonna be open butt turd
number 2.
Yes. Mr. Hanky.
Like I just knew. I was like, this show,
like I said,
doing the absolute. There is no limit to anything I don't expect out of the boys.
A fraction of one eye, perhaps, but not both eyes.
I mean, they had a whole superhero whose his junk is
right.
I would not have been surprised.
Revisited. What was his name? Butt chug. They revisited that, and it was disturbing. Like, why?
What about the pubic hair lady?
I mean, fortunately, they did that at least kind of tasteful, right? We just watching it happen.
As tasteful as could be.
That's why they kept to themselves, right? She's not going to be part of the 7. She's not. Because
everybody's superpower is not pretty. That is true.
You know,
everybody is not an A-lister. You know what I'm saying? Some people just fill the pages of comics.
But I mean, look what she was able to do with it, you know? So is it unfortunate that it's not like Minerva and it's not the top of her hair? Yes, it is. But she's doing what she got to do to save the day. She saved that girl.
She did.
Hair powers.
She did.
Yes,
not Rapunzel.
Who am I to judge?
Not Rapunzel.
It's like not Rapunzel, and
you know, some girl, you do you.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, like you said, end of the day, she gets to walk away, save the day.
Okay.
Save the day.
She's not an Elmira.
Right. It is all good. That fight between Jordan and Marie. Because it wasn't Jordan fighting, it definitely went left real quick. Because at first I could see how they were like, you know, we're gonna buck the system and we're gonna throw the fight. Like, you already supposed to win, and so not only are we not gonna fight, we're gonna kiss each other and da-da-da, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna really
like the Hunger Games,
right? We're gonna really turn the establishment on this head, and. You mix that with Cypher, and of course she's like, I know your secret. He's like, oh, so where's and see, that's why I say he can't read your mind, but it's that surface thought. Like, it's in that moment, because he did not immediately be like, oh yes, the camera you have hidden there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had to look for it, because in her mind, she was like, trying to get him to talk. So she's hiding that secret that there's a camera in there, trying to get him to fess up on camera. And it felt like he didn't know it until that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until she said something that he was then like, oh, you're trying to record and your friends. Like, he has all the information then. So it's kind of like, it's like the chameleon's powers, but with your thoughts. He only gets in for a hot second, and it's whatever's right there in the front of your brain at the moment. That's what he can pick up, and it's a unique power. And I wouldn't be sure. Like, they've come up with some, like we just discussed, they got some interesting ass powers.
Well, we don't know if that's his power yet.
We don't.
We don't know if that's his power.
I'm speculating.
Is he super? See, that's the thing, right? So we can't be. We already got the super sleuth, right? Like, the person who can go. I will go through 8,000 computations and all these various iterations, and the most likely choice for you to come up with, you know, choice of action for you is this. That's like Sage.
Uber Holmes.
Right? Like, Sage is the super smart one that uses, you know, sort of behavior predictability in order to character like her that has those powers.
I thought you were talking about
I don't know.
No. I thought you were talking about that other guy who not Sage, but he was what was his name? I have to find it. It was another guy that was like super smart, and it looked like he didn't have any powers. The guy with the TV show.
The Boys?
Yes, from The Boys. He has the TV show, and in fact, even the guy that we were talking about, that, like, you think he's lying, he's like that kind of smart.
Right, like he deduces, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying is that I don't think we're going to have another character like that, you know what I'm saying, who does that well. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and see,
like,
I think
Sage does it on point to very well, you know what I'm saying? To where, like, would he do that? But we already got a character like that. So what would enable him to be, like, so Sherlocky?
Maybe he jumps into him real quick.
In the context of trying to control him.
maybe
and
that's
gives
why it's the surface
whatever
level
they're
thoughts.
thinking.
Right.
Ooh, you know what? Okay. Now we get somewhere. That's why
That's
it's on
why
the
I was
surface
like, how
level
do we know
thoughts.
he hasn't done that before? Because we didn't know he could do that until Jordan. So, and we don't know where he's been, but he's been around.
And we still don't know, right? We're getting glimpses.
He was at the hospital. So, how many things transpired that he may have
his hands in, right?
I still think he has a rogue-like power where it may not necessarily be contact, but maybe he has to be around you for a certain period of time, and he can mimic powers or steal your powers or something like that. We got a chance to see him actually puppet master Jordan. So we know that that's a thing. So what allows him to be able to take over a body? It still looked like it took some effort on his part.
Right.
So it didn't look like it was an easy thing to do. And so maybe he has to like mentally break you before he can like hop in. Like you have to be afraid of him for him to be able to, not necessarily fear toxin, but I mean, you think about it. Anybody who would have been at that school, well, not school, but at that at Elmira, very good chance they would feel some kind of way about him. And as a result, it might be easier for him to get into their minds. And so, you know what I'm saying? Because like the only people we've
implanted a suggestion or something into them while they were there.
That is also because I mean, obviously, we're only going to really see him interact with like main characters because you know he's a main character, their main character. You know, the likelihood that we see some random side characters come in. But then again, so what was happening when he was training Marie and she was able to see that he had no compound V in his system? She like looked at his neck, saw the vein, but he was actively like talking to somebody, doing something then. I have to go back and rewatch that one.
Well, his blood did the whole like, I felt like the effect for, I'm analyzing his blood. Like I'm starting I'm in the moment.
I get that.
So now I'm in the moment. I'm feeling blood all around me. Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at blood in his neck and, you know.
Right.
But is it intentional that she couldn't feel like it could, is that lack of prowess on her end, right? That she couldn't tell, or what is he doing that he's able to mask compound V?
Because if he was able to push her to not see it, was he taking control of her body at the moment? So she thought, because Jordan said,
but it's not long term. People remember what happens afterward. Like,
no, Jordan said he was there. He was just in the back seat, and Cypher was driving. So he's still there and very much aware and a part of everything that's going on. So if it happens that he takes over and lets you do the thing you're trying to do,
they would know, though.
You see what I'm saying? They would realize that they're in the back seat.
Yeah.
Right.
But maybe if you're doing the thing
about that.
If you're doing the thing that you want to do, but he's allowing you to do the thing while he's in there, he's not taking over, but it's still letting you. It's like a driving instructor that has the steering wheel and pedals on his side of the car.
Mm-hmm.
You can drive, but he can slam on the brakes,
right,
and then take over and drive. Maybe that's what it is, and so that's how he.
But I'm not going to forget that he slammed on the brakes. So you're
not going to forget that he's. But I'm just saying to posit the possibility of the difference between you driving and not driving.
I understand that portion. I was saying like the after effects of, could he plant the suggestion so that, you know what I'm saying? So that would Marie, could he plant the idea that Marie, that she can't sense his Gen V? I don't think he's able to do that.
No, I don't necessarily think that he would
What
be
you're
able to do
saying.
that, but I think that explains the ability to read minds the way I would suggest, because I'm like, it's only surface thoughts. It always seems to be whatever main thing they're thinking about when they're in his presence. That's what he addresses immediately. He doesn't deep dive or anything like that. So if he can just hop in and sit there, and if he doesn't touch anything,
right, he can get in and get out.
He can just look around, see what you got, and then get out, talk some shit to you, and now you think he's more powerful than he lets on because.
Yeah, but it is weird that no compound V.
It is super speculation.
Yeah, they do have to.
As far as I know,
like,
there's no mutants in this world. All of the suits come from compound V. So if he's got powers,
you got powers,
which we know he does, he's got to have compound V like that. I don't know how.
Yeah. Right, because but then again, has they now? So this, I don't remember this, but I don't remember Marie ever like exhibiting that behavior before, where she was able to analyze a person's blood before. Like, has that happened before? Like, I don't remember.
She also wasn't able to lift blood bags without popping them. It wasn't until she had that, we'll call it an upgrade in her skill set.
Right.
It was during that moment, because like first she tried lifting the goat, or she did the blood bags, then it was the goat. You know what I'm saying? It's during this time that her powers are increasing. That she like you said, she was in that moment where she's already in a stronger sense, and she looks over at him, and now she can immediately sense the blood in her vicinity, and she just recognizes like his blood feels different,
right?
Because if nothing else, she knows what her blood feels like. She knows what other supers' blood feels like,
right.
And now she knows what non-compound V blood would feel like. And so maybe that's where
But does it actually feel different?
Analyzing?
Right? Like, does it feel like that's the thing, right? Because when he
I mean, if a vampire tells me that he prefers, type O versus B positive, I gotta trust that.
You gotta assume there's a sugar taste to it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta trust that there's a thing to it. But when I look at it, it's just red in the pack. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. And for the purposes of the screen, it's red in the pack. But if we have a, phlebotomist, if like her power is like the hemoglobin, human hemoglobin,
the blood bender.
You know what I'm saying? That was actually the gender bender versus the blood bender. I was like, they really trying to like push Jordan into a category that Jordan's not in.
It's not.
Right.
Like, Jordan's not trans.
They're not trans.
And the fact that they continue to try to push that, it's transtastic. That was so cringe. I was so mad. But I mean, again, if like her thing, her power is blood. Manifesting, controlling blood. If she tells me she can detect that there's no Gen V in the blood, I mean, no compound V, Gen V. There's no compound V in the blood. I'm gonna trust that, because I just watched this girl make daggers and throw them at people out of that body over there.
She also
did trust the lady that can make blood knives and use a blood whip to know if the blood has or doesn't have some shit in it.
That is true, but she did bust the goat, so she's still, she's still learning. She's still. Are you sure? That
what? But she lifted a goat. I ain't seen nobody else lift a goat.
And she was kind of unfocused there at the end when the goat exploded. So, you could make the argument for somebody breaking her concentration.
Well, how many goats have you lifted by their blood? How about that?
That's none of your business. So.
Oh, so that's why you feel some way about being able to detect.
We gotta pause. We gotta pause the show again. I can't put this on camera. Nah.
So we now see that Marie, during the fight, Cypher jumps into Jordan, makes Jordan switch. Now we got Jordan fighting, and her, like, she actually has like push powers, that little force bubble that comes, like, it hits. And it's now about to be a real fight to the death. And is just wailing on Marie. Jordan is clearly whipping ass. And in an act of self-defense, Marie just pushes her off. I hope Jordan doesn't go the way of the GOAT. I like Jordan. And this is why I can't like nobody on this show, damn it. Because if we get to this next episode, if she comes out of the locker room,
Jordan's little mushroomy face,
comes out of the locker room and all red. She already got on a whole red outfit. You know what I'm saying? Going the whole route of Deadpool. That way they can't see you bleed. I don't want nothing to happen to Jordan.
Spectacle. And it's like, but what is the spectacle for? Ultimately, it's like you're going to punish Jordan, and then I don't know. I mean, I get that politically they wanted to be the Starlighters because that's politically that's where they are. They're Vought
over there. That just helps them for that to be the thing.
Like everybody hates you and all this other stuff. Like, and it's like
Cypher only seems to be interested in Marie. Ultimately, he was there when she was born. He's now recruited her. She's getting one-on-one training. Ultimately, he's interested in Marie. And much like you said, doesn't seem to care about anybody else. It's all about Marie. So he used this opportunity. Like, they had to, in order to maybe control Jordan, they figured, okay, if we put Jordan as number one, that's what they wanted. And maybe we can like buy them to our side. If they come to our side, then it'll be easier to get Marie. That didn't work. Okay, so now we'll just put Marie as number one. Thank you. You fucked up. We can use that to just promote her. I don't need you anymore. And it's less expensive because now I don't have to pay for this Tesla's car. Like, you got to do all of that. So, again, he's quick to make those plans. He's spinning everything. He's a great spin doctor, and he just, like, whatever it is, he seems to come up with he's got a plan.
He's got a contingency plan. Well, like Vought has always been very good at,
because Edgar was real quick to be like, okay, this is what we'll do.
Yeah.
Nothing rattled him.
Like, that's what they do. I'm sure they got a think tank.
Homelander came, got right at that man's face, and he's like, oh, is this the part where I'm supposed to be scared? Okay, well, I'll tell you what. My man went, sat down, and picked up his drink. I'm going to forget that this ever happened. I'm going to let you walk out that door, go see Ashley. It was just so calm. Wow. And Cypher's giving that same energy, so unbothered.
Oh, yeah.
So unbothered. Definitely part of the Vought machine, and maybe for whatever reason, Homelander had to knock her out last season. Maybe they setting up the blood bender versus the Homelander. Or no, I'm sorry, he dropped it's just Homelander. I went back and watched Diabolical the other day because it recommended it, and I watched through Diabolical. Those were some ridiculous ass cartoons, just as wild and crazy as the boys, but it's a good watch. Normally I would have to make predictions. I can't. The only prediction I do have one. I do have one prediction.
Uh-oh.
And I feel like it's a pretty safe one. I touched on it earlier. Who is the man in the hyperbaric chamber?
It's Godolkin, man.
Right.
It's Godolkin. That's his dad.
Right.
It's Godolkin. It's got to be Godolkin because he's the one. So the pulling down of the fire extinguisher, right? Who's to say he didn't pull it down? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you just didn't do enough in time, right? Like, you did enough to survive it. Well, they don't show it. It goes.
No, he reached for it and passed out before he ever got it pulled down, and then it fades and it cuts to black. So that means he would have had to wake up out of his passing out to reach back up and pull it down.
Can we believe that can happen in this show?
No. I do believe, given the way that guy looked, he looks like a burn victim.
Yes.
So I'm with you, believing that is Godolkin himself. Question: if that's Godolkin, that was in '67. Marie was born sometime later
in the '90s.
Right.
So the picture of him with Marie got to be the same age. He looked the same age as their parents.
Right. And he still looks the same age.
No, this nigga don't. This nigga look 40-something. He just looks like he's mountain hikes.
That's my point. He does not look like he's aged since the picture.
Oh, see, right. Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. He did. To me, he looked different.
No, he didn't look different enough.
He looks the same.
Yeah, from the picture with the baby.
Different enough. And so,
I mean, it's one of those things. He had gray hairs in those pictures.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, okay.
A little bit. Even so, he has not aged significantly in that time. And he was already an adult then. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things, like, this man always been old. If that's the case, and he doesn't look like he's gotten older as he should look, and does not look. And that is the only point.
Like he was in his 40s then, so he would be in his 60s now, but he looks exactly the same. So what is that? I don't know. But he doesn't have compound. I don't.
Right. So there are questions, and we have to wait for answers. But yes, I am thinking that has to be Dr. Godolkin. That's in the hyperbaric chamber, and can't wait for the mysteries to unfold. And so we will reconvene, and we will be back to talk about the season ender after we get the next 4 episodes. So these are episodes 1 through 4, and that's everything up until the fight with Jordan and Marie. And fingers crossed that I see Jordan next episode.
Mushroomy face.
Yes, either one. I just want to see Jordan.
Bust out. You don't want to see the mushroomy face. the mushroomy face full of blood and pus is nasty.
It's
terrible.
Nah. I am definitely interested to see how they're going to close out this season. I am very curious to see what they're going to do. Emma, Kate, Sam, Marie, hopefully Jordan.
They're doing a very good job so far of carrot dangling and making us really like just putting a little bit of information out there, enough that you want a resolution to everyone's situation. So good job. Good job, Gen V.
Yeah, definitely got us interested in what's happening and what's going on. But that's going to be our show for tonight, folks. We hope you've enjoyed it. Be sure to leave your comments. Let us know what you think. Who's your favorite character of the season so far? What powers do you think need to be showcased a little more? Who do you think the man in the hyperbaric chamber is? Leave your thoughts below. Let us know. We are GrownAGeeks. Geeks. Be sure to click that QR code there right above Teresa, where you can find us everywhere you can find GrownAGeeks. Geeks. Check all social media. We've had a great time talking about it. Hope you've had a great time listening. For Teresa, RG, Brandy, I'm Elder Geek Sam, and we are out of here. Peace.